Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, welcome to Business Economics ECO 400 course. This is your instructor, Professor Dr. Kaysar Abbas. I am going to teach you this course. First of all, before going to the course details, I would like to introduce myself. As you have heard that my name is Dr. Kaysar Abbas. I have done my MSc in economics back in 91 from Qaeda University, Islamabad, and then I have done my MPhil from the same university in 1993. After that, I have joined the Planning and Development Department, Government of Punjab. I worked for a couple of years there, and then I got scholarship for higher studies. I went to China, then I completed my PhD from China in 2000 in human resource development, which is the part of economics, development economics, as well as it comes under the business, human resource management. After that, after completing my PhD, I came back and joined my parent department, that was Planning and Development Department, Government of Punjab. I worked for a year or so, and then I applied for ComSats. I joined ComSat Institute of Information Technology as assistant professor back in 2002. Since that time, I am working in ComSats. Currently, I am full professor at the Department of Management Sciences and teaching different courses of economics, human resource development, and research, and also supervising MS PhD students. So this is a brief introduction of mine, and now I would like to share something about the course. As if you see, the name of this course is Business Economics. Business economics is a very important subject or area for businesses, for managers. जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, आप डेली लाइफ में बहुत सारे ऐसे कॉन्सेप्ट्स होते हैं, ऐसी चीज़ें होती हैं जिनको आप यूज़ कर रहे होते हैं. इकोनॉमिक्स के कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं जो डेली लाइफ में आप यूज़ कर रहे होते हैं, बट यू आर प्रैक्टिकली नॉट अवेयर ऑफ दोज थिंग्स. सो इकोनॉमिक्स बेसिकली इज ए सब्जेक्ट which deals with the practicability of your life and as a household, as an individual. And similarly, economics is all about, when we talk about the country, again you look at different parameters of the economy like employment, unemployment, growth की बात करें, poverty की बात करें, exchange rate की बात करें, balance of payment की बात करें. So all these are the concepts of macroeconomics. So economics जो है practically is a practical subject जिसको आप daily life में भी इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं, कर रहे होते हैं practically, but you are not observing it basically. So this is a subject. As far as businesses are concerned, as far as managers are concerned, this subject is very, very important for those people who are working in the organization, who are working as a manager, as a leader of the organizations. They have to make different decisions in the organizations. So if they are aware about the concepts of economics, so they can make corrective and proper decisions in the business environment. So after this brief introduction of the business economics or the economics, and myself will go to the lecture 1. Lecture 1, the first lecture of this course. In today's lecture we'll talk about introduction to business economics and introduction to economics as well as business economics, part 1. Before going to the lecture, I would like to share with you the highlights of the course, what we are going to do and how we are going to run this course throughout the semesters. On the top, if you see, it's my name, and then the course title is Business Economics, and then if the credit hours for this course is 3. 3 credit hours means you have to take class of this course, particular course, for 3 hours in a week. And the course code which is assigned to this course is ECO 400. and the main objective of the course are understanding of basic micro and macroeconomic concepts, which are and their applications in the business environment. So this is the main objective of the course. So कोशिश करेंगे कि आपको जो basic concepts हैं माइक्रो के और मैक्रो के बताए जाएं और उनकी practicability, how those concepts are applicable in business environment, तो उस पर भी बातचीत करेंगे. Now the concepts or the topics which we are going to cover in this course are like, first, in today's lecture we will talk about introduction to business economics and economics itself. Then we'll talk about in 2 or 3 lectures we'll talk about market forces of demand and supply. So as we know that when we talk about market, so market has always 2 sides, supply and demand. So these 2 forces interact with each other and determines equilibrium in the market, right? Sometimes supply is more, sometimes demand is more, so there are disturbances, disequilibriums in the market, but there are automatic forces which come and which take actions and then brings the market back into equilibrium. Then the related concepts with this market force is the elasticity of demand and supply, which is very, very important tool, which is very important for the businesses when they want to decide something about price, output, and so many decisions they have to make in their business environment. So they must consider or take into account the concept of elasticity, right? तो इसके बारे में बात करेंगे. उसके बारे में we'll talk about the theory of consumer choice. We'll talk about how consumer maximizes their satisfactions, what are their preferences, and resources क्या हैं, how they spend resources, how they can maximize their satisfaction. Income की बात करेंगे, substitution effect की बात करेंगे, price effect की बात करेंगे, right? So this all the scope of theory of consumer behavior. उसके बाद we'll talk about the cost of production. Production की बात करेंगे, what goods are produced, how these goods are produced, what are the factors of productions, उनकी बात करेंगे. Different types of production की बात, different types of products की बात करेंगे, जिसमें हम total product, average product, marginal product, so many concepts in the production. And then of course we'll talk about the cost of production when we'll discuss the production. So it's very important to discuss the cost side also. So different types of costs associated with the production process, उसकी बात करेंगे. उनको कोशिश करेंगे आपको बताने की कि किस तरह से हम लिंक अप कर सकते हैं प्रोडक्शन और कास्ट को, and how the businesses or the firms can maximize their profit by minimizing cost and maximizing output. So इस पे भी डिटेल से हम बात करेंगे कि कहाँ पे firms जो है is at equilibrium and where they are getting maximum level of output at the minimum cost possible cost. तो इस पे भी बात करेंगे डिटेल में. उसके बाद जो है we'll talk about firms in competitive market. हम बहुत सारे different किस्म के market structures की बात करेंगे जहाँ पे firms का objective क्या होता है, they sell their products on those market structures and the objective of the firm is to maximize profit. So when we'll be talking about the market structures की जब हम बात कर रहे होंगे तो यहाँ पे हम 2 time periods की बात करेंगे, short run और long run की बात करेंगे, and we'll see that how the firms can maximize their profit in the short run, then how they can maximize their profit in the long run under different market structure. Like perfect competition is one type of the market structure. Then we have the monopolistic competition, one monopoly, then oligopoly. Under oligopoly we'll discuss the example of a duopoly. So these are different market structures where the firms would like to sell their product and they would like to charge a price which maximizes their profit. Of course the ultimate goal and objective of the firm is to maximize their profit. तो कोशिश करेंगे आपको बताया जाए कि what are different market structures, किस तरह से फर्म्स चीज़ें बेचती हैं, कैसे रेवेन्यू कमाते हैं, कॉस्ट क्या होती है, प्रॉफिट कैसे मैक्सिमम होता है. तो इस चीज़ पे बात करेंगे. विल स्पेंड फ्यू लेक्चर्स, we will deliver few lectures about these different market structure. So this will be the last after market structure, so this would be the last part of microeconomics, right? Uske baad we'll start the macroeconomic portion of this course. You know, because business economics is a combination of both micro and macro, so after discussing different concepts of microeconomics, we'll go to discuss the concepts of macroeconomics. Macro की जब बात करते हैं तो macro means at a economy level, and when we talk about a nation economy as a whole, so the parameters which are related to economy are the as a whole, so उनको हम macroeconomics के context में discuss करेंगे और बात करेंगे. अब कौन कौन से कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं जिनको हम डिस्कस करेंगे एट द मैक्रो लेवल. measuring national income, how different countries measure their national income, कैसे measure की जाती है national income को कैसे measure करते हैं, इसके तरीक़ेकार पे हम देखेंगे. like different approaches हैं, like income approach है, expenditure approach है to measure nation income. So we'll discuss in details how and the national income is measured and what are different types of incomes in a country, like GDP की बात करेंगे एंड GNP की बात करेंगे, नेशनल इनकम की बात करेंगे, डिस्पोजेबल पर्सनल इनकम की बात करेंगे, डिस्पोजेबल इनकम की बात करेंगे. So many concepts under this. After that we'll discuss about production and growth, how production and growth are related, what are the factors that जिनको यूज़ करके आप प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं चीज़ों को, और how this production is linked up with growth. So these two are very important parameters which are interconnected. प्रोडक्शन एंड ग्रोथ. प्रोडक्शन जितनी ज़्यादा होती है, जैसे कि हमें अंदाज़ा है, उतनी ज़्यादा इकानमी में ग्रोथ होती है. ग्रोथ ज़्यादा होती है तो लोगों के जो हालात हैं, स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग है, वो बेहतर हो जाता है, और वो जो कौम है, नेशन है, वो तरक्की करती है, प्रॉस्पेरिटी आती है मुल्क के अंदर. उसके बाद हम बात करेंगे सेविंग्स की, इन्वेस्टमेंट की बात करेंगे, फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम की बात करेंगे, किस तरह से फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम इज़ हेल्पफुल फॉर द सेविंग इन्वेस्टमेंट इन द इकानमी. विल टॉक अबाउट इन डिटेल अबाउट दीज पैरामीटर्स ऑफ मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स. आफ्टर दैट जो हम चीज़ पढ़ेंगे इस कोर्स में, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट की बात करेंगे. अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, व्हाट इज़ अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, व्हाट आर द टाइप्स ऑफ अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, किस तरह से इसको मेजर कर सकते हैं, और हाउ वी कैन मिनिमाइज अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट इन द इकानमी. तो डिफरेंट आस्पेक्ट्स जो हैं अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट के, उसको हम देखेंगे. एंड देन आफ्टर दैट विल ट्राई टू लिंक अप द अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट विद इन्फ्लेशन, बिकॉज ये कहा जाता है कि ये दो ऐसे कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं जो कि इनका आपस में ताल्लुक़ है, और इन पे हम डिटेल से बात करेंगे और इसको एक्सप्लेन करेंगे कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ रिलेशनशिप is there between unemployment and inflation in the economy. Then we'll talk about money and inflation, very important concepts as far of macroeconomics. बहुत सारे economists ये कहते हैं कि money supply is the cause of inflation. So we'll try to see the different types of money, functions of money की बात करेंगे, and then try to link up the money with inflation and how this become a cause of inflation. इसमें हम फिर quantity theory of money की भी बात करेंगे. तो this is all about money and inflation. उसके बाद we'll try to discuss something about open economy. तो इस open economy में trade की बात की जाएगी, trade balance की बात करेंगे, balance of payment की बात करेंगे, exchange rate की बात करेंगे. तो this would be the next topic of discussion in macroeconomics, that is about open economy. Now after open economy, then we'll talk about the aggregate demand and aggregate supply. जैसा कि मैंने बताया, at the individual level, at the micro level, we'll talk about the demand and supply of the individual firm, individual consumer. But when we are talking about the whole economy, पूरी इकोनॉमी की बात जब आप करते हैं, तो then we'll talk about aggregate demand and aggregate supply. These are two very important concepts in macroeconomics, and they play a very important role to stabilize the economy. After that, we'll try to discuss poverty, how poverty is defined, different types of poverty, and then of course how poverty is measured. So different measures जो हैं poverty पे, उस पे बात करेंगे, और किस तरह से poverty को कम किया जा सकता है. What are the factors of poverty जिनकी वजह से मुल्क में गुर्बत आती है. So these are the different concepts that we are going to learn under the macroeconomics. So in the last part of the course, the third part जिसकी आप कह सकते हैं is the economy of Pakistan. So after discussing micro and all macro concepts and their application in the business environment, we'll talk about the economy of Pakistan. I will give you few lectures and about the situation of Pakistan economy since independence, right? So किस तरह से हालात रहे पाकिस्तान में इंडिपेंडेंस से, मुख्तलिफ इराज की बात करेंगे और उसके बाद we'll talk about different concepts in Pakistan with reference to Pakistan economy, different concepts of macroeconomics with reference to Pakistan economy. Like हम बात करेंगे फिस्कल पॉलिसी की, हम बात करेंगे मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी की पाकिस्तान के हवाले से, उसके बाद हम बात करेंगे about the poverty with reference to Pakistan and so on. So this would be the last part of course that is about the economy of Pakistan. तो स्टूडेंट्स, तो ये थोड़ा सा ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन है कोर्स का जो कि हम इसको चलाएंगे, जो कॉन्सेप्ट हम लर्न करेंगे इस कोर्स में. सो इट्स वेरी इजी कोर्स, इट्स नॉट डिफ़िकल्ट, तो आपने परेशान नहीं होना. जस्ट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हेन आई डिलीवर माय लेक्चर, व्हेन आई टॉक विद यू, तो जस्ट उसको गौर से सुने और फिर वही कॉन्सेप्ट्स अगर इफ़ यू गो बैक टू होम एंड देन जस्ट स्टडी दोज कॉन्सेप्ट फ्रॉम द टेक्स्ट बुक, जो कि अभी मैं बताऊंगा आपको थोड़ी देर में, आप उसको पढ़ लेंगे तो देन इट्स नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम, राइट? सो यू कैन ईजिली अंडरस्टैंड दोज कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स. How will the book which basically is recommended as a textbook for the course is Principle of Economics, and it is written by N. Gregory Mankief. So it's very famous book, it's very easy book, it's written in very easy words, आसान इंग्लिश यूज़ की गई है और इट इन दिस बुक जो इसकी ब्यूटी है, देयर आर मैनी प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल्स गिवन विच आर बिजनेस रिलेटेड एग्जांपल. तो व्हेन यू लर्न ए कॉन्सेप्ट, तो ट्राई टू लर्न इट्स एप्लीकेशंस, द एग्जांपल्स गिवन इन द बुक. तो जब आप किताब से एग्जांपल पढ़ेंगे तो देन ईजिली यू कैन understand or comprehend that particular concept. So this is the main book, course book that which we are going to follow. But as far as the lecture regarding Pakistan economy is concerned, so I will tell you at the end of each lecture, बता दूंगा कि किस source से I have prepared the lecture. तो उन sources से आप पाकिस्तान economy के बारे में information देख सकते हैं, पढ़ सकते हैं. Additional reading, if you would like to see some additional reading, there are a lot of books on economics. You can read any book, you can read any concept from any book, so there is no constraint upon you कि आपने सिर्फ यही किताब पढ़नी है. बट कोशिश ये करें कि जो चीज़ें हम सीखें इस क्लास के दौरान, लेक्चर्स के दौरान, उनको आप किसी ना किसी बुक से जाके ज़रूर पढ़ लें. बट इफ़ यू फॉलो दिस बुक, बिकॉज आई एम फॉलोइंग दिस बुक, सो दैट वुड बी ईजी टू comprehend and to understand the concepts. Additional reading, I have a book for you, recommended book, but आप और बुक से भी इसकी हेल्प ले सकते हैं. Managerial Economics and Business Strategy. This is written by Michael R. Bay. It's very good book. Again, a very easy and simple book. A lot of business applications are given in this book. So you can also take help from this book also if you cannot understand that book. तो बहुत सारे और भी किताबें हैं इकोनॉमिक्स की जिनसे आप हेल्प ले सकते हैं. The objective is to learn and understand the concept. अगर आपको एक दफ़ा समझ आ जाएगी, then easily you can apply and transform that subject in that concept anywhere. Now I would like to share with you the assessment. किस तरह से हम इस कोर्स को चलाएंगे, असेस कैसे करेंगे, आपकी असेसमेंट कैसे होगी. There will be 4 quizzes. The weightage will be given to the quizzes is 10%. तो 4 quiz हम लेंगे आपसे जिनकी 10% weightage है. And of course these quizzes will be spread over the whole semester, right? जैसे कि some courses before first sessional होंगे, उसके बाद 2 quizzes, 1 quiz and 2 quizzes first और second के दरमियान, और एक quiz जो होगा that would be between the second sessional and the final exam. Then we'll talk about then we have first sessional exam. 4 assignments हैं आपकी जिसकी 15% weightage है. तो assignments of course again will be spread over throughout the semester. Then first sessional exam, that is scheduled exams, and that has 10% weightage. Then we have a second sessional exam, again a scheduled exam, proper date sheet होगी, आपको बताया जाएगा कब आपका second exam है. सेकंड सेशनल एग्जाम है, उसकी वेटेज जो है 15%. तो दिस कंप्राइजेस ओवरऑल 50% ऑफ द मार्क्स. सो जिसमें 4 क्विजेज हम करेंगे, 4 असाइनमेंट्स होंगी, 2 सेशनल करेंगे. तो ये जो सेमेस्टर के दौरान आपकी असेसमेंट होगी उसकी जो टोटल परसेंटेज है ऑफ द असेसमेंट इज 50% ऑफ द कोर्स. एंड देन रिमेनिंग 50% की जो बात करेंगे, दैट रिमेनिंग 50% जो असेसमेंट है इज द फाइनल एग्जाम. So this was all about the course introduction and the assessment and the how we'll run this course. I hope कि आपको अंदाज़ा हो गया होगा कि किस तरह से हम इस कोर्स को चलाएंगे, क्या चीज़ें सीखेंगे, असेस कैसे करेंगे. Now we'll start our first lecture. So the outline of the lecture, the concepts which we are going to learn in these lectures are: we'll talk about the introduction to economics is in the first stage, and then of course we'll discuss I will tell you some of the definitions of economics, right? So then we'll discuss the basic 10 principle of economics जो कि आपको पता होने चाहिए, जिसकी हम बार बार बात करेंगे अगले लेक्चर्स में. अपने लेक्चर्स के दौरान सम 10 प्रिंसिपल्स की बात करेंगे जो कि यूज़ होते हैं डेली लाइफ में भी, और जब हम पूरा कोर्स पढ़ेंगे डिफरेंट लेक्चर्स में तो इनकी हम बार बार बात करेंगे. And lastly, we'll end up our lectures why managers needs to study economics. क्यों आप एज ए बिजनेस स्टूडेंट हैं, आप MBA करें, आपको क्या ज़रूरत है इकोनॉमिक्स सीखने के लिए, राइट? So we'll try to discuss some of the reasons. I would like to share with you some of the reason why as a business student, as a manager, you need to study economics. So this is the course outline or the lecture outline of today's class. First of all, I would like to share with you the evolution of economics, how economics came into existence, very briefly. In old days, people use the word oikonomos, which is the Greek word for the management of household affairs. So in old days, पुराने ज़मानों में जो वर्ड यूज़ किया जाता था इकोनॉमिक्स के लिए was oikonomos, और दिस इज़ ए ग्रीक वर्ड जिसकी मीनिंग है मैनेजमेंट ऑफ हाउस होल्ड अफेयर्स, राइट? नाउ what are the household affair? Basically household affair की जब बात करते हैं, so on one side is the income of the household, on the other side we'll talk about the expenditure of the household, right? So what are the major sources of income of a household? किन sources से, किन ज़राए से उस हाउस होल्ड को इनकम आती है, पैसे आते हैं. एंड देन व्हाट आर इट्स एक्सपेंडिचर्स, नेसेसिटीज़ पे कितना खर्च करता है, लग्जरीज पे कितना खर्च करना है, सेविंग कितनी करनी है फ्यूचर के इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए. सो ऑल दीज आर दी हाउस होल्ड अफेयर्स. कपड़ों पे कितना खर्च करना है, खाने की चीज़ों पे कितना खर्च करना है, टीवी लेना है नहीं लेना, कार ख़रीदनी है नहीं ख़रीदनी, ऑल दीज आर दी हाउस होल्ड अफेयर्स, राइट? सो पुराने ज़माने में इकोनॉमिक्स का नाम जो था वो इकोनॉमिक्स था, और उस वक्त जो है इट वाज द मेन एरिया ऑफ और द स्कोप ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स, और इकोनॉमिक्स वाज द मैनेजमेंट ऑफ हाउस होल्ड अफेयर. With the passage of time and development of civilization, extended the economics to the frontier of the economy or the frontier of the country. तो इसका स्कोप जो है बढ़ाया गया, एक्सटेंड किया गया from household to the frontier of the country, frontier of the economy, and resulted it in becoming political economy which dealt with various economic affairs of the country. तो जैसे कि सिविलाइजेशन में डेवलपमेंट आई और टाइम गुजरता गया, तो इसका जो स्कोप है इसका बढ़ाया गया फ्राम द हाउस होल्ड अफेयर टू द फ्रंटियर ऑफ द कंट्री और फ्रंटियर ऑफ द इकोनॉमी. और जिसका उस वक्त द नेम गिवन टू इकोनॉमिक्स वाज द पॉलिटिकल इकोनॉमिक्स एट दैट टाइम. एंड पॉलिटिकल इकोनॉमी मीन्स द स्कोप ऑफ पॉलिटिकल इकोनॉमी वाज डीलिंग विद द अफेयर्स ऑफ द इकोनॉमी एज ए होल. So right, so we'll talk about in details what are the affairs of the economy as a whole. जब मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स की बात करेंगे, जैसा कि अभी मैंने कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट्स आपको बताए. So the scope was extended from the management of household affair to the frontier of the country, and उसका जो नाम हो गया, the name of economics was the political economy instead of economics. If you remember in 1770, there was industrial revolution that took place in England. उस वक्त it gave rise to the problems, many problems like unemployment, housing problem, transport problems, right? So then which extended political economy to economics. So the name of political economics was extended from political economy to economics after that revolution in England in 1770, जिसकी वजह से बहुत सारे मसाइल पैदा हो गए थे, ट्रांसपोर्ट के इश्यूज हो गए थे, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट इकोनॉमी में बढ़ गई थी, हाउसिंग के इश्यूज हो गए थे, एंड देन ये कहा गया, एक्सपर्ट्स ने ये कहा, इंस्टेड ऑफ कॉलिंग इट पॉलिटिकल इकोनॉमी वी विल कॉल इट इकोनॉमिक्स. सो it was extended from political economy to economics. Now this is how economics came into existence. After that, different school of thought, different economists have given definitions of economics. We'll mainly talk about three school of thought की बात करेंगे जिन्होंने definitions दी हैं economics की. Definition given by classical school of thought, and that school of thought was led by Professor Adam Smith. उसके बाद there is a second school of thought which is new classical school of thought, and they have also given their own definition of economics, and that school was led by Professor Alfred Marshall की definition की हम बात करेंगे. And then the third school of thought is the modern school of thought that was led by Robbins, and they have given their own definition of economics. So different school of thought have given different definitions of economics. So first we see that what Adam Smith or the classical of thought says about economics. In 1776 आदम स्मिथ ने किताब लिखी थी वेल्थ ऑफ नेशन के नाम से, राइट. सो वेल्थ ऑफ नेशन के नाम से जो उसने किताब लिखी, उसमें उसने कहा कि इकोनॉमिक्स जो है इज ए साइंस ऑफ वेल्थ, राइट. सो इट टॉक्स अबाउट वेल्थ. So when we say anything about wealth, so that comes under the scope of economics. उसने ये कहा था कि wealth, he discussed wealth from four different aspects, from four different perspectives. He said it is science of wealth, where we talk about production of wealth, how the wealth is produced, how the goods and services are produced in the country, what are the factors of production, labor, capital and organization, what mix of these factors of production are used to produce goods and services in the economy. तो आदम स्मिथ ने ये कहा था कि इकोनॉमिक्स जो है इज ए साइंस ऑफ वेल्थ, जिसमें हम प्रोडक्शन ऑफ वेल्थ की बात करते हैं. देन वी टॉक अबाउट एक्सचेंज ऑफ वेल्थ एनेबल सोसाइटी टू सेटिस्फाई मल्टीपल एंड्स, राइट. जब एक्सचेंज ऑफ वेल्थ होती है, एक जो है एक वन इंडिविजुअल सेल its product to other individual, or one firm sell products in the market. So exchange of wealth, it satisfies different or multiple desires of the society, right. तो exchange of wealth की भी उसने बात की. And then he talked about the distribution of wealth, how that wealth is distributed fairly, equally among different sections of the society. And then he talked about the consumption of wealth, and he talked about the utility which the consumer gets from consumption of goods and services, right. How a consumer can maximize their satisfaction after the consumption of those goods and services which are produced by the firms or the producer in the country. So Adam Smith ne basically he said that economics is a science of wealth, और उसके चार हिस्से हैं: production, exchange, distribution and consumption of wealth. His definition was criticized by different economists, different school of thought, and they said that it could make society materialistic. It can make individual greedy. जब आप wealth की बात करते हैं तो internally हर इंसान जो है, each individual can think of that उसके पास ज़्यादा दौलत होनी चाहिए. He can get maximum of the wealth or money or income. तो मटेरियलिस्टिक बना देती है सोसाइटी को. तो ये सबसे बड़ा क्रिटिसिज्म किया गया. और उसके बाद जो अल्फ्रेड मार्शल है, लीडर जो है, बानी जो है न्यू क्लासिकल स्कूल ऑफ थॉट का, they have given their own definition, and they said in 1798 उसने define किया economics को as economics is a science which studies human behavior in the ordinary business of life. It examines that part of individual and social action which is mostly closely connected with the attainment and with the use of material requisites of well-being. So basically he brings the concept of social welfare, right? So he said that कि economics ऐसी साइंस है जो कि ह्यूमन बिहेवियर को स्टडी करती है एक आम ऑर्डिनरी बिजनेस लाइफ में, और उनके ऐसे पार्ट का मुआयना करती है जिसमें हाउ इट कैन हेल्प टू इंक्रीज द वेलफेयर ऑफ द सोसाइटी एज ए होल। ऐसी चीज़ों की बात की, ऐसी गुड्स की बात की जो कि एक सोसाइटी के, एक इंडिविजुअल के वेलफेयर को बढ़ाती हैं, तो उन चीज़ों को इकोनॉमिक्स के स्कोप में कहा कि दीज आर द थिंग्स विच मस्ट बी इंक्लूडेड इन द स्कोप ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स। Later on, their definition or his definition were criticized by the economists. They said that it limits the scope of economics as it leaves out non-material requisites of well-being. राइट सो इसने स्कोप को लिमिट कर दिया है। उसने ये कहा है, इन इकोनॉमिस्ट ने ये कहा है कि ऐसी अशिया को शामिल किया है जो कि मटेरियल रिक्विजिट्स हैं जो कि सोसाइटी की वेलफेयर को बेहतर करती है। नॉन मटेरियल रिक्विजिट्स जो हैं, गुड्स जो हैं, उसको इसने एक्सक्लूड कर दिया है अपनी डेफिनेशन से। बट दोज goods are consumed by the individual, by the society. Material requisites which do not provide or increase welfare are excluded from the definition, like for example drugs की बात करें, cigarettes की बात करें, and so many other products which were excluded from the scope of definition of Marshall about economics. अगेन वेलफेयर की बात की मार्शल ने, यह भी क्रिटिसाइज किया गया कि वेलफेयर जो है इज़ नॉट ए मेजरेबल कॉन्सेप्ट, इसको मेजर नहीं किया जा सकता, इट इज़ डिफिकल्ट कॉन्सेप्ट। problems in policy making as it creates a problem of liking and disliking. So basically when we talk about the welfare, so it's then the problems come like liking or disliking का issue आ सकता है, और it would be difficult for the policy maker to make policies to improve the welfare of the society as a whole. तो ये कुछ ऐसे एतराज़ात थे, क्रिटिसिज्म थे जो मार्शल पे किए गए, मार्शल की डेफिनेशन पे किए गए, एंड देन लेटर ऑन a new definition came of economics, and the school of thought which gave this definition is known as the modern school of thought, और उसके जो बानी का नाम है वो है लोनियल रॉबिन्स। रॉबिन्स was the leader of the basically modern school of thought, and they have given their own definition of economics. ये जो definition है, this is a very useful definition. जितनी भी economics में discussions होती हैं आजकल या past में होती रही हैं, and they all talk about that definition of economics which was given by modern school of thought led by Lonnie Robbins. ये क्या कहते हैं economics के बारे में? And they said that economics is science which studies human behavior as a relationship between multiple ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. तो if you look at definitions, ये कहते हैं कि इकोनॉमिक्स एक ऐसी साइंस है जो कि ह्यूमन बिहेवियर को स्टडी करती है, एनालाइज करती है as a relationship between on one side there are multiple ends, multiple desires, unlimited desire of the society, of the individuals, and then its relationship with scarce resources, scarce means, and on the other side the resources are scarce, are limited. So economics is a science which talk about the relationship between scarce resources, scarcity of resources, and unlimited means or wants or desires. Unlimited ends, desires or want. So of course when we talk about limited resources, scarce resources, they have alternative use, different uses. It depends on the preferences, priorities of the individuals, right? तो इन्होंने ये कहा कि इकोनॉमिक्स एक ऐसी साइंस है जो कि ह्यूमन बिहेवियर को स्टडी करती है एज ए रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन मल्टीपल डिजायर्स, मल्टीपल एंड्स और स्केर्स रिसोर्सेज को, और वो ऐसे रिसोर्सेज जिनके मल्टीपल यूजेस होते हैं, अल्टरनेटिव यूजेस होते हैं। तो दिस इज द डेफिनेशन गिवन बाय रॉबिन्स एंड हिज फॉलोअर्स. Merits of this definition are it is the most comprehensive definition, right? So it talk about resources on one side, talk about desires, wants, ends on the other side. Extension of scope of economics, it has extended the scope of economics. It has included all goods, whether they are material requisites or non-material requisites, which promote welfare, not promote welfare of the society. So it extended the scope of economics. analytical in nature, which helps in problem resolving basically, and this is the definition which can help the society, which can help the policymakers to solve different economic problem. Of course, it has certain demerits or disadvantages. He tried to make economics as a pure science where it is a social science. So as if इन्होंने कोशिश की कि economics is a pure science, but it is not science, it is a social science. There is no touch of morality की बात करें तो they have not mentioned anything about morality. He says resources are limited and does not explain how these resources can be increased, right? So उन्होंने कोई ऐसा नहीं बताया मेथड या तरीक़ेकार, इस चीज़ की बात नहीं की. एक साइड पे तो वो कह रहे हैं कि resources are limited, but they have not said or anything about how these limited resources can be increased. So these are the three basic definitions given by economist. तीन definitions की हमने बात की. Definition given by Adam Smith की हमने सबसे पहले बात की. उसके बाद we have talked about definition given by Alfred Marshall, Neoclassical School of Thought. उसके बाद then we have talked about the definition of economics given by Modern School of Thought, led by लोनियल रॉबिन्स. उन्होंने जो डेफिनेशन दी हमने कोशिश की कि तीनों के हमने मेरिट्स डिमेरिट्स क्रिटिसिज्म की बात की, and we came to the conclusion the definition given by Robbins, Lonnie Robbins, is the most appropriate and comprehensive definition of economics. Most of the people, most of the economists are in favor of this definition, they use this definition in economics, and practically it's more applicable in the country or for the economy or for the society. Now we'll talk about we'll continue with the introduction of business economics. A household and economy face many decisions. When we talk about an household, when we talk about an economy, when we talk about a firm, they have to make a lot of decisions, different decisions in their business environment. कौन-कौन से decision करने पड़ते हैं उनको? Who will work? कौन काम करेगा? अगर household की बात करें, whether head of the household is going to work, or all of them are going to work. So who is going to work? Who is going to earn the money? If we talk about economy, so what should be produced? What resources are there to produce different goods and services in the economy? So who will work? What will be the level of employment in the country? So this is very important question or decision which has to be made by the households or by the policymakers. What goods and services, what goods and how many of them should be produced? जो दूसरा क्वेश्चन है जो कि फेस करना पड़ता है हाउस होल्ड को, इकोनॉमी को, कि क्या चीज़ें, what goods should be produced and how many of, how much of they should be produced. What resources, जो तीसरा important question है जिसको इनको decide करना पड़ता है, what resources should be used in the production process. अब जैसा कि हमें अंदाज़ा है कि there are different resources, different factors of production जिनकी हम डिटेल में बाद में बात करेंगे, like labor, capital, technology, organizations, entrepreneur. So there are many factors of production. अब the problem which the society or the individual or the household are facing is that, so what factors, what resources should be used to produce different goods and services in the economy? What prices? Another important decision that a household has to make, firms has to make, our economy has to make, as the what price should be the charge of those goods from the individual and the society. So these are different decisions that a household or the policy or the economy has to make during a particular time period. When we talk about these decisions, of course, we need to talk about the relationship between society and its scarce resources. The management of society resources is important because resources are scarce. So resources, the management of resources is very, very important because, as we said that in the last definition given by Robbins, that resources are limited, resources are scarce. So management of resources is very, very important, is essential. So if we want to improve the welfare of the society, so management of resources is very, very important. Scarcity means that society has limited resources and therefore cannot produce all goods and services people which wish to have.
So since economy, individuals, household have limited resources, all goods which the people want to purchase, want to use, cannot be produced with the limited resources. Now economics basically is the subject which study how society manages its scarce resources. जो इकोनॉमिक्स में है, जिसमें हम बात करेंगे डिफरेंट कॉन्सेप्ट की, ये इसमें हम देखेंगे, हम पढ़ेंगे, स्टडी करेंगे, एनालाइज करेंगे कि किस तरह से एक सोसाइटी अपने इन स्केर्स रिसोर्सेज को मैनेज करती है एंड दे ट्राई टू गेट मैक्सिमम आउट ऑफ दोज लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेज. Now we'll talk about the type of economics. As we know that, as I told you in the introduction of the course, there are two types of economics जिसकी हम बात करेंगे पूरे कोर्स में, माइक्रो और मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स. माइक्रो की जब बात, माइक्रो मीन्स स्मॉल, the word micro means small. So microeconomics focuses on the individual parts of the economy, how households and firms make decisions and how they interact in the specific market. So this is all the scope of macroeconomics. जब आप डिमांड सप्लाई की बात करेंगे, कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर की बात करेंगे, मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर की बात करेंगे, कॉस्ट एंड प्रोडक्शन की बात करेंगे, दिस ऑल कम्स in the scope of microeconomics. Then second type of economics is the macroeconomics. When we talk about the macroeconomics deals, macro means bada, big. Macroeconomics deal with the problem, with the issues at the economy as a whole. So when we talk about issues like inflation, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, पॉवर्टी, डेवलपमेंट, ग्रोथ की बात करेंगे, बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट की बात करेंगे, मनी सप्लाई की बात करेंगे, all these issues are under the scope of macroeconomics. So microeconomics, it deals with the individual society, individuals, households, firms, how they make decisions about the production, about the prices, and then in macroeconomics it deals with the economy as a whole. आज के लेक्चर में हम कोशिश करेंगे, आई वुड लाइक टेल यू 10 बेसिक प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स जो कि हम यूज़ करेंगे इन द सब्सिक्वेंट लेक्चर. कमिंग लेक्चर्स में हम जो बेसिक प्रिंसिपल इकोनॉमिक्स में इनकी बार बार बात करेंगे. तो दीज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट और बेसिक प्रिंसिपल वन ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स. वन मस्ट हैज़ टू नो हैज़ द नॉलेज ऑफ दीज 10 प्रिंसिपल ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स. One, so we have divided, the author or the Mankiv has divided those 10 principles into 3 main categories. One is how people make decisions. So we'll discuss some of the principles under this, 4 principles under this main principle of economics. इसमें 4 decisions की बात करेंगे. Then how people interact with each other, इसमें 3 हम principle discuss करेंगे. And the third फैक्टर जो इसमें उन्होंने एरिया जो बात की, द फोर्सेस ट्रेंड दैट इफेक्ट हाउ द इकोनॉमी एज ए होल वर्क्स, हाउ द इकोनॉमी एज ए होल वर्क. तो उसमें 3 प्रिंसिपल की बात करेंगे. तो 3 एरियाज हैं जिसमें हम 10 प्रिंसिपल की बात करेंगे. पहला एरिया है कि किस तरह से लोग डिसाइड करते हैं, उसमें 4 प्रिंसिपल देखेंगे. दूसरे एरिया में हम हाउ पीपल इंटरेक्ट with each other, उसमें 3 प्रिंसिपल्स की बात करेंगे. And then we have the third area which is the forces and the trends that affect how the economy works. इसमें 3 प्रिंसिपल की बात करेंगे. Now how people make decisions, we'll discuss 4 principles of economics under this area. People face trade-off. Cost of something is what you give up to get it. Rational people think at margin. People respond to incentive. So we'll discuss all these principles in detail in the coming slides. In the second area, how people interact with each other, we'll discuss 3 principles. 3 principles की बात करेंगे. Trade can make everyone better off. Markets are usually a good way to organize economic activity. Government can sometimes improve economic conditions, economic outcomes, right? So these are the 3 principles under this area जिसकी हम अभी बात करेंगे थोड़ी देर में. The forces and the trends that affect how the economy as a whole works. 3 principles हम इसमें डिस्कस करेंगे. The standard of living depends on the country's production. price rises when the government prints too much money. This is another principle जिसकी हम बात करेंगे. And the last principle of economics is that society faces short-run trade-off between inflation and unemployment. So these are the 10 basic principles of economics under 3 main areas. तो जिनकी हम अभी बात करेंगे. The first principle number 1 is that people face trade-off. To get one thing, we usually have to give up another thing, right? So there is a trade-off that exists in the society. People has to face that trade-off. If अगर उनको किसी एक चीज़ की ज़्यादा क्वांटिटी चाहिए, ज़्यादा मिकदार चाहिए, तो उसको दूसरी चीज़ की उतनी मिकदार कम करनी पड़ेगी. So people face trade-off in the society and the market. Like if we talk about guns versus butter, food versus clothing, like leisure time versus work, efficiency versus equity. तो all these ये जो examples हैं, ये अगर आप देखें तो if one individual has to get more of a product or good, or they have to sacrifice the other thing, right? Suppose if I am more interested in leisure, I want to spend more time in leisure, so I have to sacrifice my time from my work, some of the time from my work, right? So I have to make trade-off between the two things, right? So one has to sacrifice or give up something in order to get one more of something, right? Efficiency equity की बात करें, efficiency means society gets the most that it can from its scarce resources. Efficiency means how society can efficiently and optimally use or utilize its scarce resources and get maximum level of output. That is known the efficiency. That's what we mean by efficiency. When we talk about equity, equity means the benefits of those resources are distributed fairly, equally among different sections or members of the society. तो जब equity की बात करते हैं, equity को कैसे define करेंगे, किस तरह से वो जो income है और जो benefits हैं जो कि आपने हासिल किए by from different sources are fairly and equally distributed among different sections of the society. That is known as the equity. So people always face trade-off. So this is the first principle of economics के लोगों को trade-off का सामना करना पड़ता है. अगर वो interested हैं, if they are interested to get more of one thing, they have to basically give up another thing. Principle 2, the cost of something is what you give up to get it. That is the concept of, here comes the concept of opportunity cost. The scene requires comparing costs and benefits. Like for example, whether to go to college or to work, whether to study or go out for shopping, whether to go to class or sleep in. The opportunity cost of an item is what you give up to obtain that item, right? So what you are sacrificing to get something is the opportunity cost of that particular item. Suppose अगर आप कहते हैं कि अगर आप क्लास में जाने की बजाय सो जाएं, तो what you are sacrificing basically, what cost which you are bearing is that you are missing your class, you are not going to your class. So that is the cost which you are bearing. So that is known as the opportunity cost. So this is the second principle of economics. The cost of something is what you give up to get it. And the third principle of economics is the rational people think at margin, right? So marginal changes are incremental or small, but very, very important, right? So people think, or society thinks at the individual think at the margin. So they compare the marginal benefits and marginal cost, right? So and then they make decisions. So if at the individual level, at the firm level, at the society level, so they compare the marginal benefits, marginal cost, and then they make decisions. So people are rational, they think at marginal and incremental adjustment to an existing plan of actions, and then they make different decisions in the business environment. So this is the third principle of economics. Fourth principle of economics is people response to incentive. Marginal benefits and marginal changes in cost and benefits motivate people to respond. So whenever there is change in marginal benefits, change in marginal cost, basically that basically motivates the individuals or the firms to respond. Like decision to choose an alternative over another occurs when that alternative's marginal benefit is greater than marginal cost. So people compare marginal benefits and marginal cost. When marginal benefits is greater than marginal cost, of course they will make decision and they will choose that alternative, right? So the benefits and the cost, marginal benefits, the cost, basically this gives a motivation to an individual to choose among different alternatives. So people respond to incentives, right? So if they have more incentive, if they are getting more benefits, marginal benefits, of course, than cost, they respond to the action plan. So this is principle 4. Principle 5, trade can make everyone better off, right? So people gain from their ability to trade with one another. So very, very important. Competition results in gain from trading. Trade allows people to specialize in what they do best. So people, our society, or the country can be better off by trading with one another, trading from one city to other city, trading between the countries. In this way, they can minimize cost, they can specialize in their production, right? So ट्रेड कैन मेक एवरीवन बेटर ऑफ. सो इसमें जब हम ट्रेड की बात करेंगे, जब हम अगले लेक्चर्स में बात करेंगे, हम दो थ्योरीज की बात करेंगे, एब्सोल्यूट थ्योरी, एब्सोल्यूट एडवांटेज थ्योरी एंड कंपैरेटिव एडवांटेज थ्योरी, राइट? तो जिसमें ये कहा जाता है कि ऐसे ममालिक, ऐसे कंट्रीज जिनको एब्सोल्यूट एडवांटेज है कुछ चीज़ों को प्रोड्यूस करने में, उनमें स्पेशलाइजेशन कर लेते हैं एंड इम्पोर्ट अदर थिंग्स फ्राम द अदर कंट्री, राइट? सिमिलरली द अदर कंट्री कैन आल्सो स्पेशलाइज इन इट्स प्रोडक्ट in which it has absolute advantage, right? So trade can makes countries better off, individuals better off by specializing in producing goods and services and minimizing cost. So this is the 5th principle or basic principle of economics. Principle 6 की जब आप बात करते हैं, markets are usually a good way to organize an economic activity. So a market economy is an economy that allocates resources through these decentralized decisions of many firms and households as they interact in the market for goods and services. Because household decide what to buy and who to work for. Firms decide who to hire and what to produce, right? So all this activity about the firm, individuals, about the household, about the firms takes place in the market, right? So we have to, market economy has very important role in economics, right? So where all economic activity takes place, buying and selling of a product, buying and selling of an individual, hiring of an individual, and so societies has to make different decisions, and household has to make decisions regarding their what to buy and to work, who to work, and the whole firm has to make decisions regarding who to hire and what to produce, right? So this all activity, economic activity, takes place in an economy, in market economy, in a market. So markets are usually a good way to organize an economic activity in the economy. So this is the 6th principle. Principle 7, government can sometimes improve market outcomes. So sometimes market failures, जिसमें हम market failures कर जाती है, सप्लाई बढ़ जाती है, डिमांड कम हो जाती है, डिमांड बढ़ जाती है, सप्लाई कम हो जाती है, मार्केट फेल हो जाती है, मार्केट इज इन डिसइक्विलिब्रियम. तो गवर्नमेंट जो है वहाँ पे एक्टिवली अपना रोल अदा करती है, रोल प्ले करती है, एंड ट्राई टू डिटरमिन द इक्विलिब्रियम इन द मार्केट बाय इंट्रोड्यूसिंग डिफरेंट policies in the country, right? Like if we price ceiling, price flooring की हम बात करेंगे बाद में, तो government can introduce different policies to bring equilibrium in the market. And principle number 8, the standard of living depends on country's production. So what is the standard of living, what should individual and society is getting? It all depends on the level of production of the country, how much is produced in the country or in the economy, what is the level of output, what is GDP, right? So standard of living of a country individual depends on the country's production, right? So here we compare personal income, disposable personal income, we'll talk about per capita income. So almost all variation in living standard are explained by differences in countries' productivities, right? Productivity is very, very important. तो जब हम standard of living को compare करते हैं among the countries, among different countries, तो उसमें हम ये बात कर रहे होते हैं कि we are looking at the production capabilities and the level of production in different countries. The countries which have higher production, higher GDP growth, of course, the level of the standard of living of those people in that country is higher as compared to the countries where production is low, or the things are producing at the low level. Principle number 9, price rises when the government prints too much money. तो दिस इज अनदर इम्पॉर्टेंट प्रिंसिपल जिसकी हम डिटेल में बाद में बात करेंगे कि इसमें ये कहा जाता है कि इकोनॉमिस्ट सेज दैट इफ द गवर्नमेंट प्रिंट्स टू मच मनी, इफ द सप्लाई ऑफ मनी विल इंक्रीज इन द इकोनॉमी, ज़्यादा नोट सर्कुलेशन कर रहे हो इकोनॉमी में, तो व्हाट विल हैपन दैट देयर विल बी inflation in the country and the economy, prices बढ़ना शुरू कर जाती हैं, right? So one of the major cause of inflation in the economy is the growth of quantity of money, the growth of money supply in the country, right? तो money supply बढ़ती है, inflation हो जाता है, money supply कम होती है, inflation कम हो जाता है. तो इसमें जब डिटेल में जब हम एक लेक्चर इन्फ्लेशन पे बात करेंगे तो हम देखेंगे मनी सप्लाई की क्वांटिटी थ्योरी ऑफ मनी जो है मिल्टन फ्रीडमैन ने दी थी, एंड ही सेड दैट मनी सप्लाई is the main cause of inflation, right? So that is another principle of economics जिसमें ये कहा जाता है कि if the government prints too much money, prices will rise. And the last principle of economics, or the basic principle of economics, is that societies face trade-off between inflation and unemployment. And in this regard we'll talk about Phillips curve in detail later on. Phillips ये कहता है that there is a trade-off that exists between inflation and unemployment, and it is a short-run trade-off. And what is that trade-off? If prices goes up, unemployment कम हो जाती है. Why? An increase in prices, there is incentive for the producers to produce more in the country, so they produce more, they supply more, and then of course it increase the level of employment in the country or in the economy. More people will be hired, right? तो unemployment जो है वो कम हो जाती है. Societies face trade-off between inflation and unemployment. So these are the sum of the basic 10 principles जिनकी हमने अभी बात की, एंड ये ऐसे असूल हैं, ये ऐसे प्रिंसिपल हैं जो कि हम पूरे कोर्स में हम इनको आगे यूज़ करेंगे, यूटिलाइज करेंगे. Now we'll come to the last part of today's lecture, and that is about why as a manager, why as a businessman need to study economics. This is very very important to know as a business student, because आप MBA कर रहे हैं, you are a business student, you are going to become a manager, you are going to become a businessman. You must know that how economics is important to study and how economics is helpful in business or in a business environment. Now as a manager, if you have no economics, if you are informed about, if you are aware about the concepts of economics, one of the reason is that you can make informed and rational decisions, right? So economics is a tool, is a subject which can help the businesses, which can help the manager to make rational and informed correct decision, right? So that is very important, one of the reason of studying economics. Second reason of is better policy making. It is useful tool, it is useful subject as economy as a whole for the policy maker. So it helps the government to make different policy, right? So, like if we talk about at the national level, so government has to make different decisions. They have to make policies about different parameters of the economy, like and they have to decide how much money should be printed, what should be the level of prices in the country, what should be the level of employment, unemployment in the economy, how poverty can be reduced, how unemployment can be reduced, how they can improve the balance of payment position in the country or in the economy, how budget deficit can be improved, right? So what kind of taxes government should introduce. So they have to make a lot of decisions. So if the policy maker, if the people sitting in the government, if the people sitting in the offices of the government, if they know economics, of course this will help them in making a better policy for the country, for the economy. Enhancement of analytical skill. It enhances the analytical skills of the individuals, the firms. If they know economics, if they know concept of economics, they can analyze the situation in a better way as compared to as a layman, right? सो एज इकोनॉमिस्ट जो आप एक सिचुएशन को इकोनॉमी को सोच सकते हैं, उसका एनालिसिस कर सकते हैं, एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स उसके लिए मेजर्स एडवाइज कर सकते हैं, सजेस्ट कर सकते हैं, दैट मस्ट बी बेटर देन ए पर्सन हु डज नॉट नो इकोनॉमिक्स, राइट? सो एनालिटिकल स्किल्स जो हैं इससे इंसान की, इसके इंडिविजुअल्स की और इकोनॉमिस्ट की, पॉलिसी मेकर की बेहतर हो जाती हैं. नॉट लिमिट to profit making firms and organizations. As we know that the objective of each of the firm is to maximize profit. So if you know the concept of economics, concepts of economics in detail, if you have an idea, you have learned the concept of economics, so you cannot limit only it to the profit maximizing. But of course you can extend the scope of economics to other social or welfare of the society also. This is another area, another reason of knowing economics, right? Optimum utilization of resources, a very important area, important reasons of studying or knowing economics, and that if people, if as a manager or the people sitting in the government knows economics, they can use their resources efficiently, optimally, and they can produce maximum level of output, optimum level of output. Of course, if maximum level of output is produced in the country, resources are used optimally, it will help to raise the standard of living of the society. तो लोगों का standard of living बेहतर हो जाता है, improve कर जाता है, and there will be prosperity in the country and the economy. So these are some of the major reasons. इसके अलावा भी बहुत सारी reasons हो सकती हैं, आप खुद भी इसमें कुछ सोच के इसमें ऐड कर सकते हैं, but these, in my view, in my opinion, these are some of the main reasons of studying economics. ये मैनेजर को क्यों इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़नी चाहिए, बिजनेस स्टूडेंट को क्यों इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़नी है, बिजनेस को क्यों इकोनॉमिक्स का पता होना चाहिए, बिकॉज it helps in making informed and rational decision, as we discussed. Better policy making में मदद देती है economics. It helps in enhancing of analytical skills of the individuals and the people sitting in the government. It does not limit the scope up to only profit makings and of the firms and the organizations, but it extended the scope to the other programs or welfare of the society also. And then it also helps the society, it also helps the country in optimum utilization of scarce or limited resources of the society. How limited resources can be optimally utilized in maximizing productivity of the country and productivity of the economy. So these are some of the major reasons, concerns that tells us that why a manager or a businessman, as an individual, we need to know the concepts of economics, we need to study economics. So students, this is all about today's lecture. I just briefly summarize in few minutes what we have learned today. So in the beginning, I just brief you up about the course contents, the core concepts that we are going to cover in this course, business economics course, जिसमें मैंने आपको बताया. It has 3 parts, 3 parts हैं इस कोर्स के. माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स की बात करेंगे पहले हिस्से में, जिसमें हम चंद माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स के कॉन्सेप्ट्स जो हैं वो सीखेंगे, लाइक सप्लाई एंड डिमांड की बात करेंगे, प्रोडक्शन की बात करेंगे, कॉस्ट की बात करेंगे, इलास्टिसिटी की बात करेंगे. वी विल टॉक अबाउट द मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर. एंड देन द सेकंड पार्ट ऑफ द कोर्स, जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया, द सेकंड पार्ट ऑफ द कोर्स डील्स विद द मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स पार्ट, और जिसमें हम डिस्कस करेंगे डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ एन इकोनॉमी, डिफरेंट पैरामीटर्स ऑफ इकोनॉमी, लाइक वी विल टॉक अबाउट नेशंस इनकम, वी विल टॉक अबाउट पॉवर्टी, प्रोडक्शन एंड ग्रोथ की बात करेंगे. देन वी विल टॉक अबाउट द एम्प्लॉयमेंट की बात करेंगे, मनी सप्लाई की बात करेंगे, इन्फ्लेशन की बात करेंगे, एंड देन विल टॉक अबाउट द पॉवर्टी ग्रोथ की बात करेंगे, एंड देन फाइनली विल टॉक अबाउट द how country can maximize their production output to maximize to improve the welfare of their society. And the third part of the course, जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया, is about the Pakistan economy. तो जिसमें हम कोशिश करेंगे, I will tell you different issues of Pakistan economy and what was the state of affair of Pakistan economy since its independence 1947. मुख्तलिफ एराज की बात करेंगे और monetary fiscal policy, balance of payment and different parameters of Pakistan economy की बात करेंगे तीसरे हिस्से में. And then we have discussed about the conduct of the course, कि किस तरह से हम इसको चलाएंगे, किस तरह से इसकी assessment करेंगे. And then after that we started to discuss the today's lecture, जिसमें हमने बात की beginning में, शुरू में हमने बात की, I told you, I briefed you about the scope of economics, what is economics all about, how it came into existence, उसकी हमने बात की. And then we have talked about different definitions of economics given by different school of thought. मुख्तलिफ टाइमिंग्स में डिफरेंट स्कूल ऑफ थॉट ने इकनॉमिक्स की डेफिनेशन दी, उसके बारे में हमने बात की. एंड देन वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट द प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ इकनॉमिक्स, व्हाट आर द बेसिक आर द फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ इकनॉमिक्स, जिसमें हमने कहा कि हमने 3 कैटेगरीज में प्रिंसिपल को इनको डिवाइड किया है. हाउ पीपल मेक डिसीजन, पीपल हैव टू मेक डिफरेंट डिसीजन, फेस ट्रेड ऑफ एंड मेकिंग डिसीजंस, एंड देन फेस ट्रेड ऑफ. उसमें उसके बाद मैंने कहा हाउ पीपल इंटरेक्ट विद ईच अदर, उसमें हमने 3 प्रिंसिपल्स की बात की. एंड देन द लास्ट कैटेगरी ऑफ द प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ इकनॉमिक्स वाज द फोर्सेस ट्रेंड्स दैट अफेक्ट द इकोनॉमी एज ए होल. उसके हमने 3 प्रिंसिपल्स की बात की. सो वी हैव लर्नड the basic or the fundamental 10 principles of economics. ये ऐसे असूल हैं, ऐसे principles हैं which are the foundation of economics. और आगे जो हम lectures पढ़ेंगे जिन हम about micro and macro economics different issues के, जो कि business environment में important हैं, वहाँ पे हम will talk about these principles. And in the last and at the end we have learned and just हमने सीखा about why managers need to study economics, and we have discussed different reasons of knowing economics, studying economics as a business student, as a manager, because we need to make different decisions in the organizations. We are involved in policy making as a manager, as a businesses. हमने decisions करने होते हैं, policies बनानी होती हैं, हमने डिफरेंट सिचुएशन को एनालाइज करना होता है. इकोनॉमिक्स हमें ऐसे टूल्स सिखाती है, ऐसे टूल्स बताती है जो कि हम एक सिचुएशन को, एक क्राइसिस को क्रिटिकली एनालाइज कर सकते हैं आसानी से. इसी तरह it extends the scope up to the welfare of the society, and it also tells us how as a society, as an individual, as a country, as a nation, how we can optimally utilize all our resources, optimally utilize the limited resources and maximize production in the country, in the economy. So this is all about students. I will end up my first lecture. So this was just an introductory lecture about the economics and about the course. I hope कि आप you will go with me, or I will try to make you understand all the concepts that we are going to learn in the few coming lectures. तो कोई घबराने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, जो भी हम चीज़ पढ़ेंगे आप उसको जाके किताब में पढ़ लेंगे, and I hope you will completely understand those concepts. So this is all about. I stop my today's lecture here. Inshallah next time आपसे मुलाकात करेंगे. Till the next time, we'll see. God bless you. Allah Hafiz.